Greetings and salutations. Welcome once again to the Capeless Crusaders, your number one allegedly comic book podcast for anything comic book related. I don't know why I said allegedly. My name is David Barry at drbarry on all of the social media. The reason I said media is because Piper's not here, and I know it'll piss him off. To my left, we have...
You said allegedly. I'm going to say guilty as charged. This is the one, the mini. Curtis at Calm Down Warning at Existential Romeo.
Fantastic. And over here on the right, joining us from our production team / Empire's Resident podcast, we have...
Amy, and you can find me at iJaneURobot on varying social medias, or if you're headed to Cracking the Vault, crackingthevaultpodcast.com is where you'll find the rest of our stuffs and things.
You said medias. It's media. We are grammatically correct only when Piper's not here.
The medias, the mediums, the media.
Anyway, as always, you can find us on any social media website: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. Like I said, rest in peace, Vine. I still love you. We're going to be on Twitch soon at some point, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Oh, I'm excited for that.
It'll be pretty interesting once we get it up. So, as you can see, we are in a comic book store. So when we are in a comic book store, we like to talk about comic books. And in order to do that, we need to go around the horn. God, no. Because
No vuvuzelas.
No. Thank you, Curtis.
Nope.
God, thank you for respecting the institution that is the Capeless Crusaders.
I was the one that started that
And
when I
it's
came
black.
on.
Yeah, you started a terrible
did.
trend.
Hey, it was in retribution to that really, really terrible Gambit impression that keeps going on. I can't.
With that bow staff. With that bow staff. Nah,
No.
That crawdad.
Would you like? No.
That's for you.
No.
You better be watching right now on Facebook Live. So when we go around the horn, we go around the table in a circular fashion, except for the fact that we no longer have a circular table. We talk about what we have been reading this week, as in comic books. Other stuff counts, but it's not as interesting considering we do a comic book podcast. So Amy, since you're technically part of the team, but you're also a guest, I don't know, whatever. What have you been reading?
So I finished and / started the first issue of Monstrous today while I was in the store, and then I also finished.
Which order are you going?
Okay, so
you finished / started.
So I finished the first issue of Monstrous, which is in the trade for Monstrous Volume 1 that I started today while I was in the store. So I started / finished. Okay, that one. And then I also finished Tokyo Ghost, which was the second volume. I really loved it, especially considering that it was little for a limited. And, oh my gosh, it was just good.
Very well done.
What about you, David Barry?
What have I been reading? Well, everything Marvel, as always. A little bit of DC. I did read the Super Sons. So I read the Super Sons and I read the Wildstorm because... You know, I love me some Wildstorm, mainly because it was an indie that then got wrapped up in DC, so it's kind of how it counts. But what I want to talk to you about, this right here. This is The Unstoppable Wasp. It is in its second issue. It is good. It follows around the story of Hank Pym, a.k.a. Ant-Man's daughter from his first marriage. Everyone's like, oh, the Wasp is his wife. They didn't have kids. Exactly. He had a first marriage. He had a daughter. She's fantastic. She was in the Red Room, which is where the Black Widow was trained, but she wasn't good at the combat. She was good at the science. So now she is out. She's experiencing life, and she wants to do good with the time that she has because she wasted so much time in a bunker in Russia. So she is going around, she's getting other girl geniuses, and she's saying, hey, why is there a list of smartest men and there's no women on it? It's because the men choose men to be their protege. So she's going to go around, she's going to get Moon Girl, she's going to get the smartest women in the world, and she's going to get together and solve the world's problems. It's fantastic. The art is great. The writing is great. You should read it. A little dizzy now. So, Curtis, what have you been reading?
I'm a little dizzy myself. Let me catch my breath. And David Barry's breath. This week was pretty busy for me, trying to catch up on stuff for our awesome Capeless Crusaders podcast website and all that other stuff. But I did manage to sneak in a little bit of time with the Ultimates, I guess 2, being that, I guess, Civil War made them break up, and then now they're getting back together. So that was really dope. It's very cosmic, dealing with Galactus no longer, making his move from being the world devourer to the life bringer. So that's really cool. I want to say, is it Antimatter Man? I guess one of the Blue Marvel's old old enemies is now Galactus's new Herald. So that's cool seeing their dynamic and them interact. I'm having a very good time seeing Spectrum, Blue Marvel, and T'Challa kind of come together, and like the tension between T'Challa and Captain Marvel is really interesting too. So it's I think you could tell that they had a storyline going, and then Civil War II busted it all up. So I think the writer is doing a pretty good job of kind of trying to bring things back. It's almost like kind of like how Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. had that storyline, and then the whole Hydra take happened, and then it switched over from there. So, they had to get back on track. It's kind of similar for the Ultimates, but it's really good, and I really like how the artist, I want to say it's Ewing, but I'll double check. I really like how it seems like he's taking like his normal way of doing art, but blending it with like these crazy like cosmic textures, and almost looks like stuff that's a little more CGI, almost kind of like Ruby style,
like watercolor with the cosmic, like almost like a cosmic filter.
Yeah, very much. Yeah, like a cosmic filter. So I'm really enjoying that. And then I got a Darth Maul comic I gotta read, and still going through Vader on volume 2 now. So that's nice. Him and Dr. Aphra went over to Tatooine and checked up on his son's. He still doesn't. I don't think he knows his son's alive, but I don't think that he's put the two together. I don't think he knows that Luke is the pilot that helped destroy the Death Star. So that's really cool. It's nice to see that dynamic. Dang, that's crazy. Even though I was so busy, I didn't realize how many comics I still read.
That's the wonderful thing. You just like sit down and you're like, we're like 26 comics. My life is getting ridiculous.
Absolutely.
But I do have a question for you, Curtis.
Ooh. Yes.
Okay, so is this Ultimates 2, is this after Galactus met Squirrel Girl and got distracted and sent to the planet full of acorns?
I have nothing against Squirrel Girl. I don't know anything about Squirrel Girl.
David Barry?
It's a separate universe.
Dang it!
The Pocket Universe, where Squirrel Girl just does everything that she wants to do.
There we
go. It was such a good issue.
It was a great, she's in a great Pocket Universe. It's fantastic. She's also in the U.S. Avengers, which is also fantastic. Everyone should read that, too. So, you two recently went to a certain Comic Con in the East Bay Area, specifically Concord. Am I right?
You are correct.
It was Concord.
It was Concord.
East Bay Comic Con was a week ago, maybe a week ago, and we had our very own Curtis and Amy there taking pictures, meeting people. Maybe
we don't talk about that.
I have no idea what you're talking about. They had a great old time.
I was in cosplay. Curtis was in Curtis cosplay.
Curtis was cosplaying
as Curtis,
as the enigmatic producer of the Capeless Crusaders.
I looked just like him.
It's gonna be awesome. There's gonna be contests where they're gonna be like, "Oh, it's a good Curtis one," and there's gonna be like a gender bent Curtis one, and they're gonna mix Curtis in
with like long blonde hair, but like still have my beard.
It's gonna be really that's awesome. They're gonna like mix it in with like Squirrel Girl. Someone will be like Squirrel Girl as Curtis.
Squirrel Kurt.
The Squirrel Kurt.
Squirrel Curtis.
That would make him Chipmunk Hunk.
Yeah, Chipmunk Hunk.
Can you tell there's two people that read Squirrel Girl on this one today?
Squirrel Girl.
I don't want to know.
It's a wonderful comic.
Oh gosh.
So tell me about EBCC, because this is the first time we went. So what were your big takeaways? How much fun did you have? Because I know it was only one day.
It wasn't one day.
But I know at this point, even the smaller cons, they're turning into big events, where a couple years ago they were just normal things, but now they're all becoming huge productions. So big takeaways. Curtis, what'd you see? What'd you like?
The main thing that like the first thing that I noticed is when I got there, because I got there fashionably on time. And
a long time to get this get up going.
It does. Basketball jerseys are more difficult to put on than you think they are. Really nice turnout. I did drive by there earlier around the time it started, on my way to get a piece of gear that we need to bring the stuff to you guys. So turnout was really good. I didn't realize how big the hotel that they had it at was. They had a lot of conference rooms, so there was like 2 or 3 different like halls, or what is it, artist room. It's not quite an alley.
It was an exhibitor's hall.
Exhibitors hall. Fancy word.
It is a fancy word.
Yeah. So
state fair level.
So that was nice. Ran into some people. Ran into Nooligan there, and we should have taken a picture because we had on the exact same Sac Republic.
You did. You have the exact same
Day of the
t-shirts
Dead shirts on.
No, it's because Nooligan was cosplaying as you.
Oh, well, there you go.
Nooligan likes to cosplay as director, enigmatic producer and director of the Capeless Crusaders.
He had me
Curtis
fooled.
Fisher.
If it wasn't for that, that quintessential Nooligan hat.
Oh, yeah.
That was only
would have gave it away. Yeah. So that was the first thing I noticed. Turnout was really good. It seemed like it was run pretty well. From what I could tell, they were staying on time with the different events and panels and stuff that I had. And the cosplay was, I don't know why I was surprised that it was good. It was really, really good. It was awesome.
I almost feel like, because I just saw the pictures, and it seemed like what we had was like the cosplay quality that we used to get at like WonderCon, which was in San Francisco. Mm-hmm. Because those people are all still out there. Just because WonderCon decided to move down to Anaheim, which doesn't make any sense at all. Boo on you, WonderCon. But they still, like, all the cosplayers from like the Central Valley and all the cosplayers from the Bay Area. That's a perfect little spot to meet. And I saw the pictures. And it was fantastic.
Definitely.
The cosplay that we were seeing.
It was great.
What about you, Amy? What was your big takeaway from the EBCC?
Well, like Kurt said, the space was a lot larger than I expected, especially considering it was a one day and it was their second annual. For cons, because I do a lot of cons, the cosplay turnout was absolutely spectacular. I mean, when you start out and you're making a costume, you want to do a couple of test runs at smaller cons to make sure everything fits, even if it's one day. But there were 3 exhibitor halls, so it was a little overwhelming. The body odor count was very, very low. Thank you, you guys. That was awesome. Yeah, sorry. That's a big thing. If you guys don't know.
Good on you, nerds.
Yay, I'm proud
More
of you.
showers.
More
Irish
showers.
Spring.
It's more deodorant and less sick people shaking your hands. That's the biggest thing. And then the turnout for comic book artists was good. There was Joyce Chin, Ethan Beavers, who I had do a sketch card. He does Samurai Jack. Chris, I can never pronounce his name. It's like Marinin?
Marinin.
Yeah. He was
friend of the show, Chris Marinin.
There you go. And then I almost said Arthur Adams, and that's not right.
It is.
Yeah.
Arthur
Cool.
Adams.
I'm remembering. And then there was Derek. I almost called him Treefolds. He does a book with Dustin Nguyen that I'm currently reading, and it turned out really well. So it was, for a one day, it was consistent, it was open, bright, and it seemed more comic based than just pop culture, which I appreciated because usually when you go to a comic con, you want to see some long boxes full of comics.
Yeah, lately we've been getting a lot of their pop culture conventions. This isn't a bad thing.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that, but sometimes it's nice to have a comic con that knows its roots.
Yes.
It knows that it's got to have. You can't just have guests there that are Power Rangers. No, there's anything wrong with Power Rangers.
There weren't any Power Rangers.
But I don't know. But a lot of times
there was Dee Wallace.
Who's Dee Wallace?
She was the mother for E.T.
Oh yeah, that must have been pretty cool.
I saw her and waved.
In what?
I waved.
Oh, you waved. Okay.
Hands.
I was like, you saw.
I was like,
hey, phone home. I bet you never hear that. So what does the con need for next year? It sounds like it needs a second day. It sounds like otherwise it was pretty solid. It just needs a second day with all and to maybe announce that Nooligan's going to be there. He's snuck in. He just pops up in places.
He snuck in. That was I spent some time talking to him, and he had snuck in while Curtis was out taking all the pictures and doing all of the technical.
Was it just like a flash mob, like exhibitor hall? Like, we're just gonna run in, set up a table, and then we're gonna stand there for 2 hours selling our wares, and then we're gonna run out.
That would actually be kind of fun to see.
It would be.
Can you get that?
Pop up comic stands.
Pop up comics.
We'll make it. They got pop up barbers. They got pop up clothing. We can do that.
You could. But he snuck in and split a table with somebody else, so he wasn't expecting to be there.
Now the question is, did he have his new statue? Oh.
It wasn't released yet.
Well.
And I wasn't allowed to interview him about it, even though I asked.
So now it's public knowledge because we've already seen it. But for those of you unaware, if you're looking for some sweet, sweet DC bookends, our very own Nooligan now has a deal where he is designing statues, toys for DC Comics. Yeah. It's really interesting. It's got his style of Harley on one side, Joker on the other. It's a big comical bomb, you know, that Steve's would hate because it's
It's perfectly
Batman
66. It's Batman 66.
And then Batman himself is wrapped up with a confused look on his face because he doesn't know what to do with Harley, Joker, and a giant bomb. So congratulations, New again, for bringing more attention to the local comic book scene here in Sacramento. So now, question for Curtis and for Amy, favorite cosplayer, because I saw a lot, and I wouldn't be able to pick one. But Curtis, what do you got? Who brought home the cake for you?
Dang, that one is tough. There was a really good Daredevil that was there.
Right.
That was
time.
great. Yeah.
So that thing looked dead on. I mean, it was maybe it was just a tad loose on him, but other than that, that was probably the one that I would say probably stuck out the most in my mind. Oh, there was someone there cosplaying as a alien too.
He's always there. Yeah, the Predator was there too.
Really? Yeah.
Oh, like the big ones?
Yeah.
Like
the full size.
Those are awesome.
But I would probably say Daredevil. There was a really nice Starfire there too, like Teen Titans style Starfire.
Nice.
Yeah, she was awesome.
Fantastic. Amy.
The
Cosplay winner.
Well, do you want adults or do you want children?
Both.
Okay, so from the for the actual cosplay masquerade contest, the overall winner was the guy that dressed up like Blue Beetle.
Ooh.
And he looked amazing. He was super duper nice. What?
Jaime.
You know him?
No, the blue Jaime Reyes.
Yes. Okay.
Blue Beetle. I know things.
It's DC. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I've taken a break from the IKEA catalogs. I know a few things.
Hey, you're out that catalog. I'm so proud. I'm so happy.
Thank you.
So he won first prize. Second was he goes by Old Magic Beard on Instagram, but he's Old Man Luke.
Yeah, he does.
And he had redone his prosthetic hand and everything, so he looked great. And then the other one was Captain Mexico, came in third. So
Nice.
He's fun. But anyway, the one that stuck in my head really was this little boy and his sister, and they dressed up as the up-armored BVS Batman with the spear.
Yeah, I saw that one.
With the spear, and the inside of his helmet lit so you could see his eyes. And then she was BVS Wonder Woman, and her gauntlets lit up. So needless to say, by the end of the day, they were both really exhausted of being in their cosplay.
Oh, God, yeah.
But they were really they were awesome. It worked out really well.
Kind of rubbing their eyes like, do you bleed? I want to go to bed.
Amy, you forgot one though.
What?
What about He-Man?
Ooh. There was a He-Man?
There was a killer He-Man that was there.
I should never told you about that, Kurt. I should have never told you about that.
Did you meet He-Man?
I met He-Man.
By the power of Grayskull?
There was no power of Grayskull, but thank the Lord he had a cape to cover up some things.
We love
Curtis,
you, He-Man.
Curtis, I'm not telling you anything else about what you missed when
He
you
was
were
a really great He-Man.
We love you, He-Man.
He was a great
His
He-Man.
name was Matt.
I
He
thought
was very
awesome.
nice.
So I have a favorite just from the pictures, even though I wasn't actually there.
You're welcome.
Cosplay and royalty.
Yes.
I have seen you guys. I know you're watching because you're friends of the show. I have seen your T'Challa and Storm. I've seen your Miles Morales and your Misty Knight.
Misty Knight, yeah.
Fantastic with the shield and everything. I love it. I appreciate it. You guys get my favorite, even though I wasn't even there. But I'm gonna be there next year. It's gonna be fantastic.
Favorite couple cosplay all day. Those two. They're always on point.
They're always on point.
Yep.
So EBCC, lots of fun. Any final thoughts on the East Bay Comic Con?
No, it was just good. We appreciate them, bringing us out so that way we can cover the event, and be awesome when we can do it again next year or the next con that they have. So yeah, thanks for bringing us out there.
Thank you, East Bay Comic Con. So, on another note, by the time we have our next show, this will already have happened. So I wanted to talk about the next film event that we're going to be seeing.
Oh, yes.
That is Logan. Yes. AKA Old Man Logan, if you're, into that, which I am. So it comes out March 3rd. We're probably going to be seeing it March 2nd because that's what we do. Yeah. If you are in the Sacramento area and you want to come with us to see it, just let us know. We're going to have Empires always goes out. We're going out. We have the brand new theater over here with reclining seats, and I can actually recline all the way back in my feet and no one messes with me. It's fantastic. It's a wonderful movie theater. So what are we excited for when it comes to Logan?
X-23.
Amy?
X-23.
There you go.
Sorry. Besides it being, I'm excited for Steve Merchant. Holy smokes. I can never pronounce his name. I keep saying Calabasas, and that's wrong because that's a city.
Nah.
I can't remember. But I'm excited for Steve Merchant. I'm really excited to see X-23. I didn't need any other trailers after the first one that came out with Hurt. That was as great as it was to see everything else. That just right there in the
every time I hear that song,
pocket. That was it. It rips out your heart. You Kali Ma your own heart.
Just throws it on the table.
You Kali Ma your own heart.
It's.
And then I'm actually really excited to say goodbye to my longtime Wolverine.
You shouldn't be.
He's had so many scares with skin cancer. I'm okay with letting him go for this.
What does that have to do with anything?
That's the reason why he's stepping down.
Because he has a tan?
No, because he was having continuous problems of skin cancer on his nose, and he kept getting chunks taken out of it.
Interesting. Was it
the more you know?
Was that because of like the way where they were filming? Like he had to be outside all the time, or
part of it, I believe so.
Just start filming in front of a green screen. Everyone's doing it.
He doesn't want to do that.
I want him to do that.
So he wants skin cancer instead. Green screen
or skin cancer.
Yeah. Or just
it's the art thing.
Retire the role, I guess.
Yeah. So are we gonna? Oh gosh, I don't want to think about another one.
Oh no, Tom Hardy. You
hey.
You can do it. Curtis, what are you excited for when it comes to Logan?
Logan. Probably, honestly, probably Professor X. I want to see kind of how that relationship plays out. I think it's pretty. Wouldn't call this a spoiler because I haven't seen it, so I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure he's gonna die, and I want to see some of the tender moments that they share before they died. I mean, it was such an emotional trailer. I mean, everything that we continue to see from it is like more grit, more emotion. I've made the claim that this could be another, or maybe the first, I can't remember, but I got a good feeling that just based off of the tone of it, it could, take one of the big Oscars next time around. So I've watched some non-spoiler reviews on it, and everybody just speaks so favorably about it. So I'm just looking to kind of for the whole experience, see how some of the relationships that they have and that dynamic changes a little bit. I'm really interested in the score too, just because all of the music has really tied the visual together. Everybody knew about that that Hurt that Johnny Cash covered from 9 Inch Nails, which we've seen in other things, but it seems like it's almost like hearing it for the first time watching it with
it's like
this
it
trailer.
was meant for the movie.
Very much. So I would like to hear the score, just see some of those relationships play out, and as much as I've enjoyed Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine, I am actually ready to say goodbye to him and kind of move on to the next phase.
See, From square one, as soon as I heard this movie was coming out, I was concerned because I'm like, Old Man Logan had characters that are owned by 3-4 companies right now. And I was
especially
like, how are you going to do that? How are you going to have him fight the Hulk and take the Hulk's kid and ride along with Hawkeye and meet Spider-Man's daughter and fight Kingpin? Like, it wouldn't make any sense.
Right.
And for them to just completely be like, hey, it's not that. He's old and he's Logan, but it's not Old Man Logan. At first, I was kind of like, because I wanted to see if it was possible for them to get all of them together. I know it's not.
Not yet.
So not yet. But I'm extremely excited for this movie, for everything about it. For X-23, maybe we'll see her around again, even though this is kind of they've already kind of said it's sort of a different time. It's not exactly set in the current X-Men universe. Almost kind of like the current X-Men universe is the comic books that she's reading. So hopefully we'll still see X-23 in the comic or in the movies, because right now she's one of my favorite comic book characters because she's just, just awesome. Her Wolverine is fantastic. So we'll see what happens. I'm ready to say goodbye to Hugh Jackman just because I don't have a choice. Like it's not like I could be like, no, you're contractually obligated. I really want to see Hugh Jackman keep doing it, but I understand all good things must come to an end. But I'm still really hoping for just like Ryan Reynolds to pop up somewhere in Logan or Hugh Jackman to pop up in Deadpool 2. Not even as Wolverine. Yeah. Right. If he just has a cameo as someone else,
that'd be awesome.
But Deadpool is like, I think that would be fantastic. So,
be good.
Like I said, we're going to be seeing it March 2nd, probably an earlier showing just because we're all getting older. So definitely hit us up. Okay, I'm getting older.
You're the youngest one out of all.
I know. That's the weird part. Like, you are the youngest one sitting at this table.
We're getting too specific right now.
I'm not the oldest. Let's put it that way.
Old at heart?
Old at heart.
I don't know.
That sounds weird, and it sounds like you could just say old fart.
That's probably something. I'll probably go to like the 7:30 show. So anyway, you should always come out and roll out with us to a movie, and we'll definitely be doing an episode where we talk about our feelings about it. It will be full of spoilers, so warning when you want to see that. So, by the way, we're going to be doing another live show here at Empire's Comics Vault. I know right now we're on Facebook Live, but if you're watching this on YouTube in the future, it's not technically live. We will be doing a live stream with a live audience March 10th. You should come out. They're always a ton of fun, isn't it, Amy?
It is so much fun. I'm so excited. I just can't hide it.
Curtis, you're excited too, right?
I'm excited, and I am hiding it.
Interesting. Good, strange choice, but I appreciate it.
Straight to the point.
So March 10th, come down to Empire's Comics Vault. It is a Friday night. What else are you going to do on a Friday night? 7:30.
We start.
Yes, that is when we start the whole entire process. Come down, have a laugh.
Friends.
Make new friends. There was an individual here last week who I didn't get a chance to introduce myself, but hi, you were fantastic. I appreciate you sticking around and watching the whole show. So that about does it for this week's episode. We talked about EBCC. We talked about Logan. We're excited for it. As always, my name is David Berry at DR Berry on every social media website that there is. Piper, the Mad Piper, I'm looking at you, bud. Also, for the Zorian one, the Anthony Steves, we hope that your sun is no longer hulking out, and we hope that your town does not flood. To my left, we have...
Before I do my outro, I want to plug the capelesscrusaders.com website. It is up.
Alive.
It is functional. So go there, check out our audio podcast, check out our videos, learn a little bit more about us.
Everything Capeless Crusaders is there. Our Twitter, our Instagram.
Except for the merch.
Yeah, the merch is coming.
Coming soon.
Coming soon to a body near you.
Right. But until then, this is Curtis at Calm Down Warning, at Existential Romeo, the one, the many, and I haven't watched Legion yet.
Oh, dear.
To my far right over David Berry's head.
Ooh.
Oh, it's alley-ooped? I'm really bad at catching things. This is Amy. You can find me at iJaneURobot on varying social media. And representing Cracking the Vault. You can find us at crackingthevaultpodcast.com and all the schmatterings of the other social media website demajigs that there too, inclined and followed. Yay, verily.
I'm going to cut you off before you start to fall over. As always, thank you to Empire's Comics Vault for allowing us to use their humble abode. We are the Capeless Crusaders. A good night.